to the first tutorial of many outlining the basics of Blender. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how to download Blender, opening Blender, using add-ons in Blender, along with moving around the viewport in Blender, and then just editor type windows. If you don't understand what some of that meant, you'll figure it out later as I go through this tutorial, and I'm going to try to thoroughly explain everything. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below asking what I was saying if you don't understand it. If you like this tutorial, please like or comment. If you like what I do on this channel, please subscribe or tell a friend. It's greatly appreciated. So first off, we're going to ignore that I typed in Amazon there, and we're going to go to www.blender.org and hit enter into the URL thing. And you're going to click download Blender 2.78a, which is the current version as of filming this. And depending on the operating system you're using, you have different methods for installing Blender. I'm currently using a 64-bit Windows OS. You might be using Mac OS X or a 32-bit. It's whatever you're running. For anybody that doesn't understand this will have an automated installer, which will essentially just install it wherever you tell it to, and then the zip version will download the actual zip file, which is like a file that they pack all the content into, and you get to decide where to put that file inside your computer. If you're kind of not tech savvy, I would recommend just installing the installer. But I mean, in general, I would recommend being a little bit tech savvy just to use Blender, because the file menu is good, but it can be a little bit confusing to people that won't understand how to use computers. Once you download it, you should close your browser or whatever and open up Blender. I've already downloaded Blender. I'm not going to download it again, but your choice. So, when you open Blender, it should look like something like this. There is probably going to be a little screen in the way. If that screen's there, just click anywhere in the window, the application window, that isn't where that is, because it'll go away. Don't worry about it. So now you're in Blender, and we're going to talk about just opening up add-ons, I guess. So, add-ons. If you need to use an add-on at any point during your Blender career, you can go up to File, go over to User Preferences, or the hotkey for that is Control-Alt-U. Click User Preferences and click the Add-ons tab. Add-ons tab is essentially parts of Blender that don't come like preset in Blender. You have to turn it on yourself. You'll learn just kind of as you go on what all of these do. You can also, if you wanted to, go online and download your own add-ons, or if you're really good with Python, you can create your own. I occasionally download some, and I should have the screencast keys. I guess I don't, which is an add-on that just shows what key you're using down here. I guess because I don't have it, we'll just forget about it. Moving on. If you want to customize Blender, you have your settings window here. And in your settings window, you can change whatever you need. One important thing I always change, because I like to use my graphics card rather than using my processor to do all the information on Blender, such as rendering. I go down to where compute data is in the system tab, and I switch it to CUDA, and then select my graphics card here. It'll really take off the load from your CPU if you switch that over there. And another thing I always turn on is here it is, the input menu. If you change the select with option it's defaulted to right, which essentially means when you're going to grab the cube, you have to right click to move it. And if you left click, it's going to move this around. I prefer, and a lot of people prefer, to use the left. So it's really up to you. There's another option in here that I'm trying to find that is quite useful to people who don't have a number pad. Here it is, emulate numpad. If you select that, it will remove the need of a numpad on your keyboard. That's optional. Depends on your computer that you're using. And you can also go into themes and change whatever theme you want. I usually use the Elysium theme because it tends to highlight things better. But again, that's up to you. If you want to move around the viewport, you know what I'm doing, you simply have to, to pan around the viewport, you have to hold shift and then hold the middle mouse button on your mouse, the scroll wheel, press that down at the same time and then move the mouse around. It will pan the view. If you want to zoom in, simply just scroll up and down with your mouse pad, scroll wheel. I forget what it's called. Yeah, you know what I mean. And if you want to rotate the view, just press the mouse wheel, zoom wheel, I don't care, whatever you want to call it. Click it down and then rotate. Like move the mouse around and it will rotate the screen around. So, you've now accomplished a few skills in Blender. This is some really basic things. The last thing I'm going to cover before I'm going to close this video off is how to switch everything up over here. So Blender itself is really customizable, and it does a lot of things. It's really like a Swiss Army knife for creating 3D stuff. And it does a lot more than just creating 3D stuff. You can edit videos in Blender, you can program in here, there's a lot of things you can do in here. If you want to switch that, like if I want to go to video editing, there's a video editing panel. To do that, there's a little panel at the top here, and click this square with a rectangle with like 2 squares at the side of it. Click that and then choose whatever you want to select. If you want to customize the panels, you can just click on the little icons they have in all of the corners and switch it. Just click on it and then you have a whole list of things that you can switch it to. Another last thing I'm going to cover is if you get tired of these panels, some people try to just get rid of them, you know. The easiest way to get rid of them is just for this panel to press T, and there's another panel over here, and you just press N to get rid of it, to bring it on or get rid of it. And the same thing for this, just press T to get it back, and then T to remove it. I hope this tutorial was really helpful. If it wasn't, or if I can improve on anything, let me know. I'll do my best to make these the best that I can. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Be sure to check out my other videos along with this if you liked it. I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.